All right. So I put the lesson, today's lesson I put in the in your group, okay? And I think you can now see, but let me share the screen anyway, all right? I share the screen. There we go. Okay. So let me just give a small recap on this lesson and then we'll get to the heart of this lesson. So karma and vipaka. I explained last week or so what karma is, right? Karma is your intentions, your actions, right? So that is why the Buddha said, Chetanaham bhikkhave kammang vada. Your intentions is actually karma. So many people think of karma as actions also because most often your intentions get transferred into actions. All right. Now, let me give you a small example of what this means. Your intentions can pop up from 3 roots, right? Lobha, dvesha, moha, which is greed, ill will, and delusion. And one day, when you are enlightened, which I hope you will, the lobha, dvesha, moha changes into alobha, advesha, amoha, right? Generosity, loving kindness, and wisdom. Okay, so anything you do with you do or speak. So how do we live? We live. How do we experience life? We think, we speak, and we act. Right? That is the way we experience everything, and that is the way other people experience us. Now, your thoughts, other people may not experience, so they may not know what is on your mind. But have you noticed, children, that your mother always knows what's on your mind? That's a special skill that mothers have. They know what's on your mind just by looking at you. Especially if you're up to no good. Your mother somehow has intuition about it. But generally, people don't know what's on your mind. But they can kind of guess what is on your mind from what you speak and what you do. Right? So if somebody is speaking harsh words or looking like he or she is ready to pick a fight, you can guess quite accurately that the person's mind is in ill will, dvesha, right? Taraha. Taraha hita anduranna puluwan apata. We can recognize the angry mind. Similarly, let's say you want your mom to order KFC today, or you want your mom, once the lockdown is over, to take you shopping, right? Lobha sita anduranna puluwan. You can look at your face and you'll be like a little puppy. I've seen how a puppy, just before the puppy is given his breakfast or lunch, how the puppy looks. Yeah, you also have a similar look. You are not drooling like the puppy, but you something close. So that is why mothers know when you're up to no good, right? How do you know whether a person is kind and compassionate? It shows in the face. Can you tell if someone is kind? When you look at somebody's face, can you say if the person is going to scold you or hit you, or is the person going to be kind and give a kiss to you? Can you say? How many of you can guess looking at a person's face? Is that person going to scold you, or is that person going to give you a kiss because the person is feeling very kind towards you right now? Let's take your mom or dad. Amma gahanna lෑස්තිද? මගේ හොඳ බබා කියලා කිස් එකක් දෙන්න ලෑස්තිද? Do you know? අත උස්සන්න දන්නවද? මූණ බැලුවම. How many of you can tell? Go. How many of you know when your mother is about to whack you? How many know when mother is about to give you a good shot? And the කනේ පාරක් හරි පස්සට එකක් හරි දෙන්න ලෑස්ති දැන් අම්මා. How many of you know? There you go. She hasn't still hit you. She hasn't still hit you, but looking at her face, you can recognize her intention, right? So a lot of times we can see what the intention is. How many times you know when your mother is very proud of you, she's so proud of you, and in her face it looks like, you know, her face is telling something like, you are my darling angel, oya mage kukku patiya, mage wastuwa, mage rang kanda, mage kuku boo. How many of you know when your mother is feeling very loving towards you? Put your hands down now, everybody. Put your hands down. Everyone put the hands down first. Everyone put the hands down. All right. Now raise your hand if you know that your mother is feeling very, very loving towards you. Mage honda baba, honda putta. Mage ran manika. Mage manik catty. Mother and father has a look on their face when they're thinking, Mage manik catty. Mage baba, mage honda baba. E kukku patiya. You all know, excellent. See, even though they haven't said anything or done anything, you know what the intention is, right? You know the intention. There we go. All right, put your hands down. So you can guess, we call it hazarding a guess. You can hazard a guess that whether a person is about to scold you or give you a kiss based on their intentions, right? Because the facial expressions change. And now at your age, you should be very, very sensitive towards your parents' facial expressions, towards your brothers and sisters' facial expressions. The human species have a gift in their ability to read other people's face and guess whether the person is in pain or whether the person is happy. How many of you know if your mother is very tired by looking at her face? She's very tired. She had a bad day. The whole world must have been against her today. Maybe the whole world was unfair by her today. How many of you know that she had a very bad day? Just by looking at her face. So you all know. Now, if you know that your mother had a hard day today, what do? You give her a harder time by being naughty? By making a mess? No. If you notice, okay, put your hands down. If you notice that somebody had a hard time today, you must give them a break. That is what this Dhamma is all about, right? This Dhamma is all about that, darling. This Dhamma is about being kind and compassionate to others. If you notice that your mother or father looks stressed, looks like they had a very bad day today, you must try your best to give them a break. Because why? Why should you do that? Because you are their kukku patiya. You are their manika. You are their baba, right? Their love, the love of their life. So you must give them a nice break. That is what growing up is all about. You are not the baby in a diaper anymore. Where you are going to howl, and everybody drops whatever they are doing and comes running and stands at attention and asks, my prince, my princess, what can I do for you today? You know, that is good for babies in nappies and pampers, right? Now you are young adults. Once you are 18, you are a full adult. You can vote, you can drive. But now you are young adults. Your brain has developed sufficiently for you to understand when the people in your house, whether they are in pain or whether they are happy, whether they are unhappy or whether they are happy. And this is very important. Do you know why? Do you know that there are many people in this world, who are considering to commit suicide? They are considering to take their own life because life has become unbearable for them, right? And the many people who finally do take their life by committing suicide, they didn't have that one person in their family who had the ability to look at their face and understand that they were in pain and understand that they need a bit of love and compassion. They need a break. They need someone to come and tell them, it's okay. Mom, dad, amma, tata, it's okay. I am here for you. We are here for you. Whatever it is that you are going through, we'll do it together. We are here for you. Anybody who commits suicide in this world didn't have somebody who can come and tell that to them. That is why they committed suicide, because they felt so alone, they felt so hopeless, they felt so helpless, right? So you are learning Dhamma not to pass an exam. You are learning Dhamma to understand what living is all about. Life is all about caring for others, and it has to start by you caring for people who are living in the same house with you. Your mother, your father, your brother, and your sister. Look at their face. Try to understand. Are they happy or are they unhappy? A little bit of unhappiness doesn't hurt anybody. One bad day doesn't make anybody depressed. But continued unhappiness, day in, day out unhappiness can lead to depression. Depression over a long period of time can and will lead to suicide. So the only way to prevent a suicide in this world is to understand that long-term depression, untreated, medically untreated, long-term depression leads to suicide. And how do you recognize long-term depression? If every day, for days and days and days, somebody in your house looks unhappy, behaves in a slightly different way, not normal, there is a problem, right? And that is what living is all about. Trying to help others, whatever they are going through. Usually, people are going through things, little things, which they have misunderstood and they have blown out of proportion, and they think it's a big issue. Nothing in this life is a big issue. The only issue in this life is death. There's nothing else in this life. Loans, losing a job, failing an exam. Those are not issues, man. Those are nothing. Those don't mean anything. Life is what is important. Living is what is important. Living and helping others to live, that is what is important. You lose a job, you can find a job. You fail an exam, you can do the exam again. But you lose a life, that's it. Done. Okay? So just remember these things. A little bit of love, a little bit of kindness. These things go a long way. All right. And also, if you think somebody is unhappy for a long time, you tell me, and I will help you to help them. Okay? Because long-term unhappiness can lead to depression, and depression can be cured 100%. It can be cured. It's just like any other physical illness. Physical illness, hemorrhage, diabetes, you take a tablet and you are done, right? Similarly, depression also, you take a tablet and you are cured. It's a highly curable illness. But the only thing is, it's an illness in the mind. So a lot of people misunderstand it. Okay. And the starting point is just observing whether people in your house, are they happy? Are they unhappy? Are they angry? Do they look stressed? And like I said, just a little bit of anger, little bit of unhappiness, nothing happens. One day of anger, one day of unhappiness, nothing happens. Days and days and days, continued unhappiness, stress, anger, those are what is dangerous. right? And if you think something is going out of control, you tell me. I am happy to talk to anybody in your family and help them get some treatment, and everybody goes back to living happily ever after. All right, now back to the lesson. So lobha dvesha moha, right? You know how to recognize happiness, unhappiness, stress. So your mother definitely knows to recognize when you're up to no good. Okay. Now, karma is about intention. All right. So what is intention? The best way to explain this is like this. Imagine Dhamma school has started and you are back at Dhamma school. Yay. You are at the temple, right? And you are walking near the hall, you know, the nice garden. And you didn't know, but you have trampled an ant in the temple ground. Unknown to you, you have trampled an ant and the ant is dead. Now, my question to you, is that on you? Right? Are you going
No.
to? It's
No.
not.
It's on my foot.
Sorry. It's on your foot, is it? So your foot will get some punishment, is it? For trampling the ant and
Not
not you?
teacher, because we didn't do it in an intentionally, so we don't get the punishment.
Excellent. Well done. So let me refer to the Panchil Padapaha. First one is Panatipata Veramani Sikkapadan Samadhya. I will not kill any living being. Now you say that and you have killed an ant, but you had no idea that an ant died because of you. Now this Panatipata Veramani Sikkapadan Samadhya may silpade bindennana. In order for you to wrongfully commit an act of killing another being, there are 5 things that needs to be fulfilled, right? First one, it should be a live, living being. Second one, you know that there is a living being here. Third one, you have an intention to kill that living being. Fourth one, you have a plan. You have a plan on how we are going to kill it. Fifth one is, as a result of your plan, you execute your plan and the living being is dead. Now let's see, when you are walking on the temple ground, you accidentally trod on an ant, you had no idea, and the ant died. Let's see whether it fulfills these 5 factors. Only if these 5 factors are fulfilled, that the death of that living being falls onto you as your responsibility. You are responsible for that. So first one, is it a living being? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Do you know, as you were walking, that there was a living being there?
No.
No. So you can see my hand. First one got fulfilled. Yes, it's a living being. There was an ant. Do you know that there was an ant? No, you didn't know. You had no idea. Third one, did you have an intention to kill an ant today?
No.
Kill this ant? No. Did you have a plan that you are going to stomp on this ant and kill it? No.
No.
Did the ant die?
No.
Yes, the ant died. Putta.
Yes.
Yes. Now, out of the 5 things, only 2 got fulfilled. There is a living being, the ant, and the ant is now dead. But 3 things didn't get fulfilled. You had no idea there was an ant. You had no intention of killing an ant. You had no plan on how to kill the ant. So unless all 5 are fulfilled, it is not your responsibility. So even though while you are walking on a temple ground, a poor ant met its end, that karma, that bad karma is not on you. So there is no vipaka, right? Now karma and vipaka is not only for bad things, it's also for good things. It's also for good things. Let's look at an example of a good thing. You come after school and you see your mother and you look at her face and you can see your mother looks tired. So you feel sorry for her. Now you go and you think, I must do something nice for my mother. And you think, okay, there are a few things that my mother wants me to do. If I do them properly, then at least I'll be giving my mother a small break today. So what are the things your mother wants to do? She wants you usually after you come from school to keep your bag in the right place, to remove your uniform and put it in the right place, then have a nice wash, right? And place your towel properly, get dressed, and come and have lunch, wash your plate, wash your cup, right? And then maybe relax a bit, and afterwards sit and do your homework, study, and after that maybe play a bit. Maybe you help her a bit, sweep the house, whatever. What is your intention there? Is it a good intention or is it a bad intention in doing all that? Oh,
Good intention.
exactly. It's a good intention. Now, when you do things with a good intention, what do you think the outcome is? Outcome is
Good outcome.
a good outcome, exactly. Now, since you are such a good boy or girl, what do you think? Your mother will notice. And your mother will be like, Puta, are you all right? Are you okay? You have been such a good girl today. You have been such a good boy today. Your mother might be pleasantly surprised. And if you specially help her, like make her a cup of tea, sweep the house, she'll be so delighted. She might think, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have such a wonderful child like this. I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky, right? And she may think of making your favorite dinner today. Or she may come and, pat you on the head, Olu Atagala might say, you are a good boy today. You are a good girl today. And if you ask her something like, Mom, I have studied now, I have finished my homework. Shall I watch TV or shall I play a game? The mom might be like, yes, of course, darling. You are a good boy. You are a good girl. See, when you do things with good intention, you get good outcomes. Okay, so this is what Kamma and Vipaka is all about, children. Your intention shapes what you say and what you do. If your intentions are good, the words you speak and the actions you do are good. When your intentions are bad, the words you speak and the actions you do are bad. All right. So this is in a nutshell what this lesson is all about. Okay. So explain what this means. As one sows, so shall he reap. The doer of good reaps good results, and the doer of bad reaps bad results. So that is what it means. Whatever good you do, you get it back, and whatever bad you do, you get it back too. And this lesson is about how you get things back, the Vipaka, right? How do things come back to you? Now, the Vipaka is classified in 4 ways based on the time of the Vipaka coming back to you, based on how it comes back to you, based on the priority of how it comes back to you, and based on the place where it comes back to you. So let's look at the time. Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma. These are the karmas, the good things or the bad things you do, the result you get in this birth itself, right? Things like being nice to your mother and father, you get the results this birth itself. Being kind to others, when you are kind to others, Puta, you practice this and see. You be kind, really, really kind for a whole day. You will be amazed at how the rest of the world becomes kind to you. If you think you are having a hard day, you want to change things, All you need to do is be loving and caring and kind to others. And suddenly you will realize others are becoming kind and loving and caring to you. Such a simple formula for life. Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma is all about that. Give me a second, please. Somebody is calling me. I need to take this call. Give me a second. Let me mute my. Right. So Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma is things that take place in this birth itself, right? So, you know, the best example of a Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma is you taking an interest in your studies, listening well at school, listening well at class, listening well at Dhamma school, taking notes, studying. What is the Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya result you will get? What do you think? Anybody? What is the result you will get if you pay attention at school, pay attention at class, take good notes, study well? What is the result you'll get, children? Anyone?
We get good marks.
Exactly. You will get good marks. That is the Vipaka, Putas. Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma and Vipaka, it's very easy to understand. Education is the best way to understand it. You will definitely get good marks. Right? Okay. So whatever you do, you get a result. And the things that you get a result here and now is called Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma. Right? Because you get the result in this birth itself. Yeah. Now, your parents, let's take your parents. If they look after their parents, they are very kind to their parents, your mom and dad, they are very kind to their parents, right? They look after their parents. What do you think they will get this birth itself? What do you think?
They also will be cared when they go.
Exactly. Because when you are growing up, you watch your parents. You do what your parents did. And when you can see your mother and father looking after their parents, you will do the same for them. And the Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma for them, this birth itself, is that you will look after them. Now, one day when you are old, if you want your children to look after you, what should you do?
Even we should be kind to our parents.
Exactly, Puta. Now you understand Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma, right? So if you want to have a good life, you should be kind to people now. That kindness will come back to you. It will always come back to you. And all your life, if you are kind to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors, to society, you are guaranteed you will live a good life in this birth. Kindness, love, generosity. So let's say that you have some students in your class at school who are struggling with a subject, the subject that you are so good at. Let's say you are really good at maths, and there are some kids who are really struggling with maths. Let's say you help them. What do you think will happen to you? You help those kids to understand maths. You help them by explaining things to them, right? You put effort. There's a lot of love and care, and you help your classmates. What will happen to you? As per Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Karma. Anyone? Go.
I will be able to do better than earlier.
You will do well in your exams. I don't know whether you will do better than others, but you will definitely do well in your exams. And Puta, you will do well in life. You know, helping another human being to study, to understand something, those kind of actions are so powerful, Puta. Generosity is such a powerful thing. The Buddha said, as a Buddhist, there are 3 things you should do. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. He started with Dana, generosity. Generosity is not just giving money to a beggar on the road. Generosity is a lot of things. Generosity is helping a student understand another subject at school, especially if you are good at it. Generosity is helping your mother and father with your time and effort in the household chores. Sweeping the house is generosity, right? You are giving your time and effort to somebody else. Washing your cup and plate is generosity. You are helping your mother. Making tea, right? Helping your mother cook. Cooking is not a girl's job or a boy's job. It's everybody's business, right? Because the family has to eat. The family has to eat. Everybody in the house should help the person cooking, right? There's little things you can do. Scrape the coconut, you know, wash the vessels and dishes after the cooking is done or after the eating is done. There's a lot of things you can do to help. Yeah. That kind of generosity, the good result you will receive that good result this birth itself. Some generosities, some good things you do will take place in the next birth. Then that is Upapaja Vedaniya karma. So that is why a lot of Buddhists like to give dana. Pansalta dan denawa, duppat ayata udaw karnawa, kanna නැති අයට කන්න දෙනවා, ඇඳුම් නැති අයට ඇඳුම් දෙනවා, right? All those things Buddhists do, and many other, I mean, everybody does. In every religion, people give dana. People are generous because many people know, many people believe that the good you do in this birth will help you and protect you in this birth, and it will also help you in your next life. Upapaja Vedaniya karma means whatever you do, say and do, think, say and do today, now, will help you in your next life as well, next birth, immediate next birth, right? So Dittadhamma Vedaniya is whatever you say and do will come back to you this birth itself, the good and the bad. Upapaja Vedaniya means whatever you think, say and do this birth, the good and the bad, will come back next birth. Aparapariya Vedaniya karma, right? You can read it. Give me a second. Somebody else is calling me again.
Miss, your mic is off.
Yes, but I was answering a call. Another parent in the Dhamma school was calling me. All right, so let me finish this part and then we can stop. So, apara pariya vedaniya karma means effect takes place in any birth from the third to the last. These are very, very strong karma. So, I think you would have heard the five heinous acts, right? Mava merima, piya merima, rahatun merima, sangha bede, budunge ange lesala vema, right? Those kind of very, very severe bad actions you do, like killing your mother, killing your father, killing an enlightened being, a Rahatan Vahanse, wounding the Buddha, right? Like Devadatta did, remember? Devadatta did two heinous crimes out of the 5. He also did the Sangha Bede, that is creating a dispute amongst the Sangha. Yeah, he managed to create a dispute amongst the Sangha and broke the Sangha into 2. And he also toppled a rock with the intention of killing the Buddha. But the result was a small piece of the rock actually grazed the Buddha's foot, and there was a bit of bleeding there, right? So two big, really huge bad deeds that can really mess up you for a long, long, long time. And these karmas are so powerful. They don't spare anybody, right? It'll come back to you for a long, long, long time. Yeah. So those are the ones called apara pariya vedaniya karma. Effect takes place from any birth from the third to the last until you attain nirvana. So you may remember Mugalan Hamaduru, how he passed away. He had done one of these crimes in one of his previous births, right? And he was part of a plan that resulted in killing his own parents, beating them up actually. And I think he didn't kill them, he beat them up, or I think as a result of the beating up they died or something of that nature. And in the last birth where he was an enlightened being, he passed away by getting beaten to death, right? So he tried to avoid it a couple of times, and then he used his enlightened mind to see what was this all about. Why is this group of robbers or criminals coming at me again and again and again? And then he saw that, there was some akusala vipaka of the past that he had to finish off, and there was no escaping it. And when he realized that, he thought, okay, let me face it. And he faced it, and as a result, he passed away. Of course, he's an enlightened being, so it was a parinirvana for him, right? But the fact is that he couldn't, even as an enlightened being, he couldn't get away from it, right? So those are the really, really serious stuff. And there are really good things also that keeps coming back to you again and again and again, and gives you good results. Like Sevali Rahatan Vansi, for example, he had done such generous things in his past lives that he never missed a meal, right? So he was Rahatan Vahanse, and in the last birth itself, he was always living a comfortable life, right? A good life. So there are very powerful things that can come after you until you attain nirvana. And then there are these small ones, the minor ones, right? The kind of things that get forgiven and forgotten, ahosi karma. These karmas totally lapse if it fails to produce the effect this birth or the next birth or before enlightenment. So these are the small things with us. What are these small things? So for example, when you're a child, before you could understand what is right and what is wrong, let's say that you hit your mother, you got angry, and you are a baba, and you don't understand what is right and what is wrong, and out of anger you hit your mother. those are ahosi karma. Yeah, those are nothing, those are small. And then let's say when you're about 10 years old, you do know what is right or wrong, but you still haven't developed the ability to control yourself. So you know that it's wrong to hit your mom or dad, but you get very angry and you hit your mother or you hit your father or you kick them. Yeah, so those are ahosi karma because you still haven't developed your ability and your skill to control your anger, right? And control yourself. And your mother and father know that, right? And they love you, so they'll forgive you. And those are, those are not serious things. But now children, now you are big. Now you are young adults. Whatever you say and do will come back and bite you. So be very, very careful in what you say and what you do. It will come back. All right? Fair warned is fair warned. And I warn you. Be nice to your parents. Be kind to your parents. Even though you are totally ticked off and you are really angry, remember, you have to be responsible for your actions, to the words you speak. And that is why you need to meditate. Things like metta meditation helps you to manage your anger. Right? If you do a little bit of metta meditation, it will help you to manage your anger. It will help you to be compassionate. It will help you to be kind. Yeah? All you need to do is sit down for 5 minutes and just, do a simple metta meditation. Mama niduk wenwa, nirogi wenwa, suwapat. Mage amma niduk wetwa, nirogi wetwa, suwapat. Mage තාත්තා නිදුක් වෙත්වා, නිරෝගී වෙත්වා, සුවපත්. මගේ සහෝදර සහෝදරියන් නිදුක් වෙත්වා, නිරෝගී වෙත්වා, සුවපත්. And if you want, you can say මගේ හිත මිතුරන්, මගේ ගුරුවරුන්, සියලු සත්වයෝ නිදුක් වෙත්වා, නිරෝගී වෙත්වා, සුවපත්. You just do that for 5 minutes every day. You will notice over a period of time, you don't get angry as you used to. You don't get stressed as you used to. You become a kinder person, you become compassionate, you become generous. So easy to live life when you're kind and compassionate and generous. All right. So let me stop there and I'll see you next week. Everyone saranai. Have a nice weekend and I'll see you next week.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Everyone, sir.
Bye.
Terima kasih.